Hello everyone, welcome to Zodiac Tarot. Today I'm just doing some channeled messages. I know I haven't done a live session in a couple weeks, I believe. It's been about two. I didn't do one for the last Wednesday or Saturday. Um After that last void moon we had, my energy was very heavy. And I was going through an ascension process and a purge myself, so I didn't really have the energy to conduct live sessions as I myself was going through a healing session. But I'm back in place. I feel back to channeling messages, and I don't feel kind of an empty space when I try to channel spirit. So I feel like I can hop back to doing my live sessions on Saturdays. But I haven't cleansed the space yet, so that's what I'm gonna do now. I've already set out all my cards. The session is going to be for an hour long, so we'll see what Spirit has in store for everyone and what messages come through. Let's go ahead and start off with cleaning this space. I banish all negative energies and entities that wish to harm, deceive, or interfere with the messages that I channel today. May these messages reach those who are in divine need and who wish to receive them. May they resonate to heal and aid those in their soul journey. I call upon earth, wind, fire, and water to ground me in this space as I channel the messages from spirit and ancestors. Let's go. Let's balance out the energies and light our incense. Balance out the energies in this space. All right. Everything set up? So let's dive right in. We're going to take a couple deep breaths to ground this space and this energy. I'm really called to this deck right here, and this is the Sacred Traveler's deck. I think I'm gonna move all of these stones over here. They're kind of in my way, but that's okay. Um, let's see there. That's better. It might even look better on the thing, but I don't know. I'm gonna put those over there. This is the Sacred Traveler's deck. This deck is this kind of like to me is a narration of the soul journey and the different points that you go through on it. Let's see what Spirit's message is for this collective weird. I feel like this collective may have a passion for writing or some form of art with words. Maybe like you use them in art form, or you're just really good with words, linguistics, things like that. Maybe a traveler may travel to write your articles and go to different places and write about them. All right. Finding sanctuary, grace and gratitude through and voyage of the heart. This to me almost feels like maybe with this skill that you have, you're trying to find what you want to do with it, where you want to take it, how it really brings joy into your life. Like Spirit wants you to focus on what makes you grateful for this skill, what makes you grateful for living, for being here and experiencing life in the many different ways that we can. They want you to see that whenever you focus on the more positive aspects of what you do, you can see that things aren't as harsh or stressful as they may have seemed at first. Um, things are Spirit wants you to really find appreciation within yourself for what you're capable of. It's like appreciate yourself, appreciate what you've done, and how you've made success out of it, even if in the first place you didn't believe that you could. But doing this can help you open up to a more spiritual connection to not only yourself but everything around you. It'll help you work better in the way society plays out in life. I think I'm gonna move these over here. All right. Yeah, if you're being called to work on a project, Spirit wants you to have gratitude for everything that you've worked on up until this point. Because something here is changing with this project that you're working on. You're gonna get a different perspective on where to move with it. And even if you're not dealing with writing skills or like word artwork, you this still can resonate with you. Maybe you're like a publisher or someone who's like a literary spot. Maybe like a writer, not writer. I already said writer. What is it? They like Iris on Flash. They're a reporter. Ha! That's the word I'm looking for. I'm sorry. I just feel like we need a little bit more sage up in here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do a little more of this, a little bit more of that clean energy in this space. I'll just follow through with some Palo Santo. I feel like this takes away that fuzzy energy. It allows everything to feel more balanced and stable, more grounded. I think I use the Circle of Life deck all the time because it's my newest one. I think I'm gonna use this one. Actually, all right, yes. We'll use my oldest deck instead. So let's see. What course of action should this collective group take? All right. We got Magician. There's another card here that flipped. There we go. There it is. The Wheel of the Year. Let's get one more with this group. We have interesting. Okay. I feel like you have this opportunity here. Like you've been creating this opportunity. And now that it's here, you kind of aren't open to it. And I'm kind of confused as to why. So I'm just going to get a little clarity as to why you've closed yourself off to this. You see this as an abundant opportunity, but I feel like in some ways you're kind of like the positivity behind it could be overwhelming. Um, this music is like loud as fuck and shouting in my ear for no reason. I feel like once again, like I was saying, overwhelming, and then me going to talking about my music being really loud in my ear, you kind of are getting sensory overload with this offer. It's kind of like maybe it's out of your comfort zone and you get anxiety from it, and well, that was an ad that was that loud. That's why. Jesus goodness. Okay. Anyways, so this offer here is very abundant and very, very bright and good opportunity for you to advance. Um, but you're afraid to take it because of how good it looks. You're afraid that you're gonna take this offer and you're gonna go through with it, and it's not gonna be actually the rainbow and sunshines that it appeared to you as, and it's gonna flip the script and turn to something that isn't good, isn't something you want in your life, you know. So I feel like that's why you're kind of afraid to take this cup and really take this opportunity, even though you manifested it. You went through the cycles. You got rid of karma. You went through the toxic journeys. You dealt with people who you maybe shouldn't have had to deal with, but you had to release karma. You had to go through those lessons, and some of those lessons were where you seem to have received this cup, and then it ended up being the reverse of it, and it was nothing like this goodness that it appeared to be. And so now that this is coming forth again, you're kind of like, are you playing with me right now? Like, are you serious? And I feel like the Ace of Cups and the Sun coming out, clarifying the Four of Cups is really confusing to me because it almost seems like um you're stunting your own growth. It seems like you have all these opportunities coming in for you, but because of your fear of not succeeding, you don't take the chance. You don't take that opportunity, even though you continuously called in for it. And now that you have this opportunity here, it's like you're about to shut the door again because you don't really know if this is what you want or if this is what you need in your life right now. But you've clearly, with this, the mirror and the wheel of the year, you've clearly been putting in the work and the effort to bring this to happen in your life, to bring this opportunity to yourself. So why are you going to close yourself off from it now that it's here? You know, um, I feel like yeah, it's once again we have the Five of Pentacles here. It's that energy of you're afraid of it falling through. You're afraid of it not being as beneficial and what's the word I'm looking for? And like abundant as you wish for it to be, you know? What message is here, Spirit? I'm already over this song and they've only played 2 seconds of it. Alright. We got a couple cards here. Yeah, there's that Karma card underneath the Four of Cups. So it once again is like what I was saying. It's like you see this opportunity as something really positive here with the Page of Wands, but you're afraid of it falling through because of something that happened previously that ended terribly. Um, but the Six of Wands is following the Karma card, and this is underneath the Ace of Cups and the Sun. So I feel like this is good karma here coming in for you that is actually going to benefit you rather than that negative karma that came in, pulled the rug from underneath your feet, you know? This news could come in from somebody. This opportunity could come in from an air sign or somebody with an air chart placement, possibly their third house air placement, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Um, let's see, what else do we have here? I feel like this is just kind of confirming that it's an air sign. We have Gemini energy here. So, I feel like this collective group here, Spirit wants you to stop focusing on what you haven't done and start focusing on what you have done. Start focusing on the things that you've achieved in the amount of time that you've been awake, that you've been aware, that you've been consciously moving about the earth. They want you to focus on the things that you've shifted on your own and the things that you shifted to aid others and to aid yourself and to aid the ascension of earth. Um, I am seeing a project here, and the only reason that it's not going forward is because of this fear that it's not going to work out, that it's not going to be as abundant and forthcoming as you wish it to be. Well, I'm here to tell you that we can have things, we can have projects that we aren't sure if they're going to be successful, but we cannot know if something is going to be good or not until we launch it. There are so many things that I've done over my years, from the time I was 14 till now, where I would showcase different types of skills and different types of art styles through my Instagram, and some people liked some things and people didn't like other things. And the only way that I was going to figure that out was by sharing my content with them to know if they liked it or not, to know if I should continue making more of it. And that's how it should be. You should know what's going to work and what's not going to work. So whenever you have that failure, that is only leading for more success, because that failure shows you that is not the way to do it. You shouldn't try that method. You should switch it up and see if it works this way instead. And that's the best way to look at failure is the next step to success. Once you fall, you can only get up from there. Can you not? If you are flat on your stomach on the floor, can you go any more flatter on your stomach, or do you have to get up? You have to take that next step to get up and take action, to not be stuck on the floor doing nothing. You can get up and try something different, and keep trying something different and keep taking that next step to make a difference, to make a difference for yourself, to show that you are capable. Um I'm feeling really out of breath, and that calls to me thinking about people who may need exercise, or they may, and it's not an overweight thing that they need exercise. It's just a matter of, for their health, exercise would be a good option. It would help out their heart and their inner organs. I don't know where this is coming from, but it's just kind of coming out of my mouth, and I'm a little confused, and I apologize for coming at you about exercising. Oh my god. Okay. Anyways, moving on. um, but it would be good for your health, your mental health, and your emotional health, as well as your physical health. And that's what I like whenever it comes to telling people about exercise. That's actually my favorite thing to say, is that it helps a lot more on a mental and emotional level than it does on physical. And the only reason I know this is because I dance, and I don't do it like every week or every day or anything. But whenever I do dance, this just energy of is just so nice. It's like all the weight that I've been handling over these past weeks have just been melted off my shoulders, and I just laugh and I smile the entire time I'm dancing, because I'm releasing those endorphins, and it just feels so nice and calming. And afterwards, I just sit down and I don't overthink anything, or I don't get too tense or anxious, and I just feel very calm and serene after I've danced, after I've put in that bit of bodily effort and got a little bit of a sweat going. I noticed that it on every aspect of my health really helped me feel better as a person. So that could be why I'm called to tell you about exercise. This is more of a mental and emotional health factor than it is physical for somebody personally in the collective. Um, but uh I see this white horse here twice. So there's somebody here coming here with a message that's going to bring brightness to your life, going to bring a change. And it does involve good karma here. It's your choice to take this, though. It's your choice to take this opportunity and take that step forward. Don't be afraid of what comes forward. Be discerning. Use your intuition to know better if something is good for you or not, but don't completely shun something before you've even like asked about it, before you've even really truly understood what it is that's being offered towards you. Always try to really see um what you can gain from working with something or somebody. Um and and I don't mean that in a bad way, because people will be like, oh, you're only trying to like self gain. Like, it's okay to go out there and do something because you're going to gain it. You know, you don't have to always be doing stuff for other people every single second of the day. It's okay to go out there and do something for yourself as well sometimes. So remember that you know you can consistently put time and effort into everybody else, but if you don't give yourself enough time, you're never truly going to have time to put in effort for everybody else. period. And I learned that the hard way last year. So um, just from one person to another, one person to a collective, I guess I should say. Um, to truly help the ascension of this earth, to truly help the collective, to truly aid people in their growth as a person, you yourself have to be expanded and healthy as a person. You yourself have to be able to discern between what's right and what's wrong. And it took me a long time to really know that and understand that, because for the longest I would try to deliver messages when I wasn't in a mental state where I could, the messages actually came through and they were helpful, you know. And I've realized now that whenever I deliver these messages, I have to be in a clear conscious myself, because if I'm not, I can end up really harming the people that I deliver these messages to, because my residual energy of negativity is on that message. Whether I'm consciously aware of it or not, my energy is still on that message. And so I always have to be in a healthy state of mind to conduct this, because I know that if I'm not, my messages won't truly help anybody because of the energy that's behind them. There are times where I watch YouTube readers and I'm like, wow, I really can't watch this because their energy is so congested, because they themselves are in a negative state of mind, that whenever they're channeling their messages, all that comes out is negativity. And it's kind of like, whoa, girl, calm down, wait a second, like, are you sure that's what's really going on? Like, it makes you really feel muddy and foggy, and it's like, that's not what kind of energy you should make somebody feel whenever you're trying to heal them, whether it's Reiki, um tarot, oracle, pendulum, whatever kind of divination you use, or whatever spiritual healing form you use. You should never have a muddy energy doing that kind of work, because then that muddy energy goes on your client, whether you're aware of it or not. And the reason I felt guided to say it is because that group that I just channeled for, whatever it is that you're working on, is for the public good. And you have to remember to be in a healthy energy to be able to help others. And sometimes it's really hard to remember that as you're moving forward, because all you want to do is help people. And yes, you do want to help people, but helping yourself is a part of that process. You are a part of people. You are a part of this human consciousness on the earth. So you have to be aware of yourself as well, and you have to, excuse me, you have to take care of yourself as well. I'm gonna go ahead and finish there, because I feel like if I continue talking about that, I'm just gonna say the same thing over and over again. So that's the first message. We still got another like 37 minutes in this bad boy, so let's get rolling with another message. I'm feeling drawn to this deck, and I will say I'm not 100% familiar with this deck as it pertains to houses and astrology. And I'm still learning that very well. Well, I know the star signs, but I'm still learning the houses. So bear with me as I channel the energy of this deck. Um, let's see what messages Spirit has in store. To the conscious. Got 3 cards right there in a snap without any effort. I'm being called to put this one back, so I'm going to put that one back. We got here Taurus. You could be dealing with a Taurus. You could be a Taurus. Let's see. You could be dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Or you are in a fiery energy. And what I mean by that is that you could have a fire placement in your chart that is feeling the effects of a fire transit. Okay, my mind's a little foggy after saying that, so I really hope that made sense. But it's kind of like, say you're okay. So I personally, in my chart, I have my you have the three main placements, right? Sorry, my words have problems coming out sometimes and I stutter, so sorry if that happens. But basically, anyways, what I'm trying to say is you have your placements, and the three main placements are your sun, moon, and ascendant, right? Well, I have two fire placements and a water placement. So whenever I'm more in my watery energy, I can still feel that fiery presence, and it kind of makes me feel like a geyser, like a boiling combustion of water in the ground. And that's kind of what it makes me feel like whenever I'm in my water energy, but I'm feeling fiery. So if you're a water sign, you're kind of feeling that fiery geyser energy, right? You're an earth sign, you're kind of like a tree on fire, and it's like popping, and it's like snapping out of place and stuff. That's kind of like it's kind of like, to me in that case, if it's that kind of analogy, it's almost like you're going through a transformation where it's kind of like all that old energy is being burned away from you as you transform into something new, to where new growth can come in. Whenever they do like prescribed burns on the land, and then later those plants that used to live there, they grow back stronger and healthier. So that's kind of like what it is kind of like a prescribed burn when you're in that earth energy, but you're feeling fiery. It's kind of like, you know, you got this prescribed transformation happening. That kind of, I hope that makes sense, because like I feel like I should just leave it at that and not really explain it any further. So I'm really hoping that makes sense. If it's not that kind of like where you're a different sign and you're feeling a fiery energy, you could be dealing with a fire sign as well. Especially with the seventh house partners coming out after. So I have one last card here. It's Jupiter. So going back to that fire energy, it could be definitely Sagittarius with that Jupiter card coming out. We have several sevens here. If we split 14 in half, we have two sevens there. So we have several sevens. So this is a spiritual. This is a spiritual person. I feel I should say it's a spiritual person rather than it's really a spiritual connection or anything like that. Somebody in this situation is spiritual. I'm leaning more towards the Taurus energy is a spiritual, and I feel like the fire energy is going through a transformation. And that's why we actually have the fire element with the Jupiter card coming out of it, coming out after it, because it almost looks like this is kind of like in the tower card where it has the electricity that hits the tower and then it kind of falls apart, except this is hitting a man's head and he's kind of having that epiphany moment of like, oh shit, this world needs a little bit of medicine. You know what I mean? um but I'm gonna, where's that? Oh, it's right here. I was like, where's that box at? um I'm gonna, honestly, I feel like I know that I can, so we're just gonna do it. I was gonna grab the book and start reading for these cards, but I decided I'm just gonna do it intuitively and have this a purely channeled intuitive message, because it wouldn't truly be channeled if I read it from a book, would it? Oh my goodness. Um, Once again, back to what I was saying when I was breaking down the people and what kind of situation this could have been. There's definitely, like I was saying, there's this more spiritual person who could have had an Egyptian past life, or they're strongly drawn to the Egyptian ology, things like that, the mythology of Egypt, how ancient Egypt really was, and things like that. But this individual, this fire sign that you may be dealing with, or if this is vice versa, take the energy how it resonates with you. Um, they're going through this awakening that's kind of, it's almost like there's this soulmate energy. Like I was saying, there's someone who is really soulful, they're a very spiritual individual. I feel like you coming into this person's life, or them coming into your life, has really triggered this this awareness, this kind of like return of who you are kind of thing. Um but it's almost like this person is going through an epiphany of like, whoa, I see who you are to me. They're kind of getting this energy of what kind of relationship you guys had in a past life, things like that. And this could be a divine counterpart. And I'm gonna say this right now: I do not identify with twin flames, because from the beginning of my journey, I did identify with twin flames, and it started to become really mainstream, and everybody was a twin flame all of a sudden. So I was like, I need to just dissociate and disconnect from this label, because it's just a label, and that's why I like to say divine counterpart. It doesn't have an exact label. It doesn't say that this person is your lover or your friend or your cousin or your sister. It's just they're a divine counterpart. They're a divine person who is part of you. So I like to look at twin flames, or um, like divine unions, soulmates, all these things. I like to look at them as a divine countership or counterpart, divine relationship, because to me, all relationships are divine. They're built on love and the sacred connection between you and one other person. So, when it comes to this here, this energy, it's almost like that kind of twin flame energy, but once again, I'm going to say divine energy. It's a very divine energy. Probably it either is at a soulmate level, or like a little bit higher than a soulmate level, where it's like you guys are kind of really here to do something together, here to transform the world in a way. And especially with seventh house partners here, like I'm just seeing this really divine work being done between the two of you. But before that can happen, there has to be this awakening of awareness in that other partner. um let me go ahead and use some tarot. I think I'm gonna use the David Bowie Starman tarot, and this deck is the Black Moon astrology cards. So let's dive right into the messages. Message spirit, what message, tarot message do you have to go with this message? Let's see. Let's see if we can get some clarification on this message. Clarification. Message. Let's see what Spirit says. Not the whole deck, please. We're gonna flip this over like this. I don't know why, but my cards, like, they talk better whenever I have them this way, and I don't know why that is. But we're gonna stick with it, because why the heck not? So, interesting. I feel like I'm still channeling the same collective as the last message, but I'm just hitting a different sector of your life. Because we have the Prince of Wands here again, and the Chariot with the Queen of Cups leading the energy of the reading. So we have some different signs coming through here. We have Cancer coming through, as well as Pisces. I would say Scorpio, but I'm really drawn more to that Cancer Pisces energy. Um, we have that fire energy coming through again. So this fire energy is definitely confirmed. And this person, once again, they're in a Prince of Wands energy, and like I said, they were going through an awakening process in their life. So, with them being that Prince of Wands energy, this is why they're going through that transformation, is because you are in a queen energy. You're in a higher vibration than this other fire sign individual, and I feel like that's why the Queen of Cups is here, stating that this Taurus energy is the feminine energy, the fire energy is the masculine energy, and but this Taurus, you're very grounded emotionally, and you're very connected. But this Prince of Wands, this fire energy, wants to come forward, and it's because of what they've experienced after meeting you and what they've gone through. I feel like you really trigger something to happen in their life that caused them to transform as a person, um, and it's really drawn them back to you, and they don't know why, but they keep coming back, because it's kind of like it's really it's really nice for them. They feel balanced around you. They feel like when they're with you, they really have this sense of inner peace, and that's kind of I don't know where I was going with that little bit of message, but we're just gonna keep going. But we have the Chariot here with the Justice card, so they want to come in to bring balance. They want to come in to bring change and transformation. We have the Alien here. And so this is actually interesting whenever I see this interpretation because we have this man coming out of a black door. So I always like to think of this as somebody coming out of hermit mode, because sometimes there's the depiction of him going into hermit mode or still being in hermit mode. But this to me is coming out of hermit mode. So I feel like this transformation energy that I was feeling, where they're kind of having that epiphany or that awakening in their life, they're kind of coming out of it now with the Chariot and the Alien, the Hermit card, because they want to bring justice to the situation. Maybe this is somebody who in the past had a very immature energy, and now they're trying to come forward with a balanced heart and mind, where their decision is based from a more balanced place. They're not being childish because they want stability. They want to have this opportunity to build something that is worth keeping stable. Like it's something they want to always be able to work on and always make better. You know, like this is a person that knows how a relationship works and what you need, what kind of strength you need to be in a relationship, because there are going to be hard times. There are going to be times where you absolutely hate that person and you don't know what you're going to do with yourself, but you don't actually hate them. You don't actually hate them. You just are in a moment of life where you feel triggered by something that's foreign to you. You're not used to having that type of energy around you. Recently, I've gone through this myself in my relationship where I just wanted solitude. I just wanted me time. I just wanted to be by myself like all the time. And it's like my thought process was, what if I just what if I get so bothered by always being around him that I don't want to be here anymore? And it's kind of like that's something that I realize in a relationship you have to really it's something that you have to compromise. You have to compromise your alone time because now you're not alone anymore. You've got somebody else there to take care of and to be more consciously aware of to build a stable home. And you have to be able to really look at um, what's what's really got to be sacrificed for a relationship, because it's all the things that you really didn't think would need to be. Whew. I feel like that's just kind of like a side note that I should share. So I'm just going to leave that there for you guys to do with it what you feel you should. And I hope that it's nothing bad and I didn't like say anything that would hurt anybody, because that's not my goal. Oh, my tummy grumbled really loudly, so I don't think I said anything too bad. I didn't say anything bad at all. What the heck? Calm down, Ariana. I cannot. Um, we have here the Princess of Swords, the Six of Pentacles. We're gonna get two more cards. Spirit, please. There's that Sun card again. Once again, this really is that other group of collective, the Sun card. So there's that Leo energy as well. We have Leo, Libra, Virgo, Cancer. I just need one more card. This one works. It's the first one that flipped up like that. So, okay. So, I don't need to know. Don't. Okay, so interesting. There's something here blocking this Four of Wands. This is somebody who isn't fond of this union. They're not a fan at all. Like they have no reason to be like this. It's just kind of like it's just kind of like one of those energies of kind of like, why isn't that me? And that's kind of what this person is. They're in that energy of like, why isn't it me? They're envious. Um, don't let this person bother you. They're only like this because they themselves cannot manifest in the ways that you have. I feel like there's a point with this person that you did get pissy with them and you told them how it was and you told them that if they wanted what you had, they can go and get it for themselves. But they proceeded to ignore you and still be pissy with you. And I feel like you've kind of like just stopped handling this person because you don't want to deal with this energy. You have no reason to deal with this energy. You don't have the time to, you don't want to entertain it at all. But they really want what you have. And um I feel like this isn't an energy you should be worried about, but it's definitely one of those energies that you always want to have a ward up against, because on a subconscious level you never know what could really be going through somebody's mind. Because there are some times where I energetically do something that I on a conscious level wasn't even aware that I was doing, but on a subconscious level I was doing it every single second of my breathing day. And it's like you sometimes don't realize these things that you're doing subconsciously, and this person could be doing something subconsciously where they're sending bad energy your way. And it's not like they're doing it to be an asshole or to be mean, because once again they're doing it subconsciously. They're not even consciously aware that they are hexing you or that they're sending bad energy your way. It's just that that's how they feel. So because of the way that they're feeling, it kind of balls up into this energy towards you, and it just kind of naturally goes towards you. It's not that they actually have a distaste for you. It's just kind of like from that initial energy of envy, it's just kind of grown into this ball of just grossness. It's an energy that sometimes we can not be aware of at all. But you can put up a ward against this and you can protect yourself from it, because once again, like I said, they aren't subconsciously aware that they're doing it. Um, so it's a matter of now you just need to put that little bit of protection up to keep it from happening. And sometimes we have to do that. It's unfortunate that we have to put up energy wards and things like that. But there are people in this world that aren't nice, and there are people who just send negative energy your way just because they can and they want to. How you can ask for a reading is if you go into the description of the video, I actually have an email there. It's Loving Soul Unfolds. You can email me there and ask for the reading of your choice, and it tells you how to do that in the description, as well as my listings for the readings that I do. So you can go there if you're looking for a reading. Um, But continuing on, sometimes we do have to put up these energetic wards to protect ourselves from people who are not intentionally sending negative energy our way. It's just that on that subconscious level, they have that little bit of little bit of residual negative energy. No problem, hun. I don't mind at all. Um, but you're really this whole bottom row here is really I'm seeing that you're coming into a point in your life where things are becoming more stable, more abundant. I'm seeing financial growth as well as like I want to say family. Like it's almost like your family, your circle, your soul tribe is expanding. That's what I'm going for. That just came out with so much ease. So that's definitely what I was looking for. You're finding a better connection to those around you and who's really meant to be around you. Um, so like for example, if there's somebody around you who you've been supporting from day one, like this person came into your life and you're like, oh, you're amazing, and you've just been supporting everything that they're doing, and it's like as soon as you do your own thing, it's like they're unsupportive, and it's like it's not that they're envious or that they hate you. It's just that It's just that they're kind of like, I was supposed to be the one that had that business thing going, you know? You know how some people are in a friend group where they're like, I'm supposed to be that one individual, you know, quote unquote, you know, the CEO, and you're supposed to be this and that, and, you know, we all have our role. No, no. I'm sorry. That you don't play roles in friend groups like that. You're all friends and you all do what you do and you're amazing at it, right? But there's that kind of tension with this person, and it's kind of like I feel like it's nothing bad. It's something that can definitely be broken through, and you can let this person know like we can both be successful and we can both be abundant individuals. You know, um, uh, I don't know where that message came from, but it just came out of me. So, for those who are entrepreneurs and have your own business and you're dealing with somebody who may have had a business before you, just know that this individual more or less just needs to understand. I feel like maybe you were very supportive for them for a long time, and it's like now that you have your own business, they're not sure that you're gonna still support them the way that you used to, and it's like on in some ways they're kind of thinking they lost one of their clients or they lost somebody who was really to them a very big part of their business, you know. Because like I feel that way about some people who they started with me from the beginning of my Facebook group. It's like I'm like, wow, these people have really been here from the beginning, and maybe it's not that long ago that I started, but it's the general fact that these people were with me from my business from the beginning. This person supported me, and so it's like personally I would support that person though if they went off and did their own thing. So this person just needs to know that you still support them and that you're not doing it with ill intentions. Because I feel like that's kind of their fear is that it's ill intent, you know. And sometimes we have those insecurities with our friends, is where you never know, you know. Sometimes it's there are times where um we can have that fear of untrust between us and our friends, and it's kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie. It is sad whenever we have that mistrust between us and our closest friends. But it just happens. It's an energy of you know how have you ever walked into a field and it's almost like the energy shifts and it's like everything feels different, and it's like it's not that it's meant to, it's just that you literally just walked into a different energy field. That's kind of what it feels like. I feel like I just lost myself and everyone else, so I'm gonna talk done I'm done talking. Okay, anyways, going back to this. This career opportunity you have here though, I'm seeing that it's gonna really change the way that you move about life. I'm seeing this whole like just soul expansion where you kind of you yourself take a different approach to life. You're starting to maybe eat healthier. You're starting to work out daily. You're starting to read. Maybe you're studying something. I'm seeing here it could be sciences or biology, something of that sort. Which biology is science, but I was giving you more specific science, I guess. Um, uh, there's something here that's abundant, that's coming in for you, that's a career opportunity, but it involves studying. So if you're studying right now and you're currently like going to school for a specific thing, I'm feeling called to tell you to keep going, keep doing that because you're actually going in a good direction. You're going in a way that's going to benefit me. If you came out of this hermit energy and you just started going towards school or you started going towards just a specific path, and it really called to you, or you are currently being really called to do something, go about it. If you're being called to go to school for psychology, go to school for psychology. If you're being called to go to school for forensic sciences, all these types of things, go to school for it, because I'm seeing this being very beneficial. Yes, it's going to take time to get to that beneficial point, but I'm seeing it being beneficial. You know, there whenever it comes to college, I personally am not the biggest fan because it's like you're never sure if you going there, spending all that money, spending all that time is actually going to get you to where you want. But I've started looking at getting your school degree more of as a way of credentials more than of a way as to get into that career field. You know what I mean? So it's like, um say that okay, say that for example you want to write a book, and you um where was I going with this? Oh, I just had a complete brain fart and I'm really sad about it. Okay, but anyways, say that you really wanted to advance that, and it's like you can't seem to do it now without your degree or anything. But if you go to school and you get that degree for writing, or literature, English, things like that, and you just have that on your credentials as your license, something like that, people who read your works will read it, and even if they don't know you, or even if they don't know what you're writing about, because you have those credentials, which if they're reading your article or they're reading your thing, they most likely know what you're writing about. But anyways, um um just knowing that you have that experience of school, just knowing that you have learned how to do what you're doing, will really pull more people to read your content, because you have that skill, because you have that experience. And it kind of sucks, but it's the harsh reality of our world. We do better. People see us as doing better. People want us to work for them whenever they see that we have that credit. We have that real proof that we know what we're doing, And it kind of sucks sometimes, because it's kind of like, as a tarot reader, it's kind of like, well, how do I prove to people, that what I'm doing is actually teaching them, And it's like, you just show them, just freaking do it. And if you're not trying to go to school, like I said, just do it. But if you are, that of which you learn, because you have that proof that you learned it, it's going to really, really help you move along. And once again, like what I was saying is it just really benefits the amount of people who come in for your product, who come in to really see what you have to offer. And with this career here, I feel like going to school, or really, even if it's just like you take a small class for this, it's like just having that bit of proof that you know what you're doing is really going to change the overall outcome of what you're working on. Um, but I feel like I kind of did a little bit of rambling. It made sense. I hope it makes sense to what this message is. But I'm really seeing here that there's a union of sorts between somebody who is going through a transformation in their life and somebody who is trying to make things transform in their life. So, um, I feel like you should keep pushing forward with what you're working on. Keep focusing on your growth as a person. You're very emotionally mature and balanced, mentally and emotionally. And I feel like you have a very clear idea of where you're going. And whenever it comes to those around you, um, really don't hold expectations for others, as it makes people wary of being around you, as they don't really know what to be. If you have expectations, they don't know who to be. And this can be on a very energetic level, so you won't even really be aware that it's happening. um, but really allow yourself to flow a little bit more, and see that things can come without force, and that actually the less that you focus on things and the less that you force things, the more action and the more that you'll see happening. So I really hope that as you move forward, you can see that the universe is always flowing, overflowing with abundance to give and for those to receive. um, so I hope you guys have have I don't know where I was going with that. Okay, I hope that this message helps you guys on your soul journey, and I hope that you see change and development in your life. If you really feel like um I once again don't know where my words are going. I keep having like this moment where I just kind of zone out. So if you're having trouble focusing, um I feel like you need to really take a break, like a huge break, like calm down, um, and like just breathe. Just breathe. Don't worry about anything else. Just worry about breathing and being alive for like 5 seconds of your life. Because if you're always stressed about what's going to happen next, nothing is going to happen next. I hope that makes sense. But if you are always stressed about what's going to happen next, nothing is going to happen next. Yes, I did have to repeat myself. The more focus and the more laser point that we put on our lives, the less we see change in it. The more we focus on having fun and being in the moment, and the more we focus on not what could happen next, but what is happening now, the more our life seems to change and transform. So I hope that you can step out of the next moment and come into the moment that you are in now and see that everything is fucking gorgeous where it is right fucking now. If it does not seem that way, there is something that you need to change to make your life better, to make it happy, to make it the way that you want it to be. You can come here and you can watch these tarot videos, but if you do not release the things that it says are making your life toxic, if you do not discern between what is right and what is wrong in tarot, if you do not discern between what's really making your life negative or positive, that is what causes the transformation. That is what causes the transformation to happen, is when you take that action, is when you make a decision, when you make a choice to make that change, when you decide that you want change, is when you start to see the negatives and the positives, and you get to discern between what you want in your life and what you don't want in your life. And that's how we call about transformation, as we discern these things, we realize these things, and we change these things. I hope that as you go through this next transformation in your life, you can really grow and expand and really see what you are capable of as a person, because you're capable of a gosh darn lot. Um, but I believe that is all for this live today. And I thank you guys for joining me. And I hope that this message really helps you along your journey. I'll see y'all later. Blessed be, beautiful souls.